All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How is everybody doing? Be interesting to see how much of a lag we have here tonight. Last night, a little trial run, I had over a minute of lag. So, in the chat, please let me know when you can see us. I've got the infamous Chris Garcia with me over here on this side tonight. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you.
I learned from the great Diane Hockman to bring somebody over onto this side to be the eyes and the ears, because with this platform, you actually can't see the chat or anything that's going on when you're in screen sharing mode. So just waiting to see from in the chat that people can see us. Let us know when you can see us. Nope. I just saw a recognition of you, Chris, so I think it's starting to go through. All right. Hey, Bill, welcome. Diana, thanks for coming. All right. All right. Well, I've got 9:01 on my watch, and I like to be as prompt as possible because everybody's got a busy schedule. So I say we get into it. But before we do that, Chris, I'd
Yeah.
like you to take just like a couple minutes and tell the people who don't know you a little bit about you and what's been going on with you like in the last 2 weeks, the phenomenal stuff.
Oh my goodness, what a ride it's been. Going from struggling in this industry for 5 years and then being up on stage with Diane Hockman, it's completely changed, my day to day. And it's been a very humbling experience and something that, you know, I always go up to the leaders and I kind of like semi gush on them because I love them and adore them, but it's been an interesting experience receiving so much love. It's been pretty cool.
Awesome. Well, I know I'm seeing you all over the place and doing some phenomenal things. You're appearing on um, webinars all over the place. So just awesome. And I really appreciate having you here, like I said, so you can be my eyes and ears once we go into screen share mode, which, the nature of this webinar tonight is technical enough that a lot of it is going to end up being screen share. So, well, without further ado, I want to just get into it. And Chris, if you see something, I'm going to leave the chat on. If you see something pop up in there, and actually, you know what? I'm going to turn on the Q&A as well. Then if you see something on either chat or I don't see something come through on Q&A, let me know then, okay?
Sure.
Okay, super. So let me go into screen share mode. Also, Chris, if I need to upsize something to make it look better, just let me know that too, okay?
Absolutely.
All right, so let me know when you can see this, or when they can see this.
Looks great, man.
Okay, guys, when you can see the first slide in the presentation, just put that in the chat so that Chris sees that, because I can't see anything now that I'm screen sharing. I'm kind of blind here. Oh, the joys of having a home-based business. If you got animals, my two animals have been so wired and going. I'm just kind of hoping that they settle down. I just heard them kind of getting into it a little bit, so hopefully that doesn't become a distraction. Anything yet, Chris?
So far, so good.
Okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna go straight into it then and just assume the best. Okay, so what are we gonna cover here tonight? Well, first of all, I'm gonna tell you my story in brief and why I think that you should be listening to me and why I think it's a good thing that you're on this webinar tonight in the training. Once we get into it, I'm gonna show you what I've discovered over the last 4 or 5 weeks in messing around with Twitter as a traffic driving strategy. I'm going to show you exactly who I'm following and when I'm unfollowing people. I'm going to show you exactly the direct messages that I'm sending to my new followers that are triggering action from them. And then we'll talk about how to collect and what I'm calling activate and then follow up with these new Twitter followers so that they go from being cold market into being warm market. And of course, there's some tools involved in this. So I'm going to show you those tools and how to use them. Okay, so my story in brief, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Chris Kelly, and I'm a husband, a father, and I'm a 7th grade math teacher. 12 and 13-year-olds, I don't think I need to say anymore. In the top left-hand corner of the screen, you see my oldest son. During his junior year, getting ready for prom, he decided it was a good thing to go on a skateboard ride. So that's just a fun picture. He's now entering his 2nd year in college. That picture's a few years old. On the right-hand side of the screen is my younger son. He's entering his senior year. Tomorrow is his first day of football practice for this season, and we're kind of looking at this football season with excitement, but also it's going to be kind of a sad thing because he's been playing football. We've been following him around, taking him around since 5th grade, and this is going to be the final year. So obviously I have the teaching background. I'm a natural teacher and trainer by trade, by practice of 12 years working in the 7th grade level. I have a master's degree in management systems, which just is a fancy way to say business and computers. And back in 1999, a couple years after I got out of my graduate program, I co-founded an internet company. We thought we were going to be the Yahoo for the little tiny market up here where we live in northeastern New York near Vermont and Canada. And we thought at the time, there's no way that these guys like Yahoo and Google are going to be able to get into these tiny little markets. Well, little did we know back then. 2001 rolled around and the internet bubble burst, and our deep-pocketed funding sources started to dry up, and that company went by the wayside, which is when I retreated back into the safety of teaching. I discovered network marketing back in 2003. I really didn't last very long with my first company. It was a product-driven company. I didn't have a huge amount of belief in it, although in hindsight, the team that I signed up with was completely internet-driven. If I had actually engaged with them at the time, back in 2003, holy cow, I can only imagine where I might be now with the way the internet and marketing across the internet has obviously taken off. And what I've discovered is that I know that I have a skill set for taking difficult to understand concepts and explaining them in a way that makes sense to people. Obviously, you know, I do that with math and 12 and 13-year-olds, but that's not really where the passion lies. My passion is helping business owners to grow their business using technology and primarily internet and social media marketing, which is why we're here, and we're going to talk about Twitter. Okay? Now, why should you be listening to me after all that? Well, basically, here's the deal. I was right where you are back when I got started. I didn't have a clue. I knew internet. I thought I knew internet stuff, and it turned out that when it came to business and lead generation and all that's involved in that, I really didn't know squat. I mean, if you look at this chart kind of closely, you'll see back in December of 2014, when I first really started trying to sink my teeth into this stuff, I was hard-pressed to generate 10 leads in a month on the internet. Now, I don't know how many millions or billions of people are on the internet, but I couldn't even get 10 leads to come in the door back then. It blipped up a little bit in the winter of 2015 over this past winter time. That tends to be a busier time anyways, but still I barely broke over 20. It dropped down in May of this year. That's when I coach. That's my coaching season for our local high school golf team, and I just was run ragged and didn't have a whole lot of time to invest, and that's a pretty natural one. But the inflection point happened in June as school started to wrap and I was able to invest some more time, and that's when I discovered Twitter as a lead generation strategy, and I kind of have spent since then focusing on that as my primary traffic source. And I hit upon, whether it was accident or trial and error, it really wasn't. I was testing, right, split testing things back and forth, and I hit upon kind of a magic formula. And at this time, actually, I updated this picture today. It looks a whole lot rosier for August than this shows. I didn't have time to put it into the presentation, but I'm actually on pace. It says here I'm on pace to do over 150 leads in August. Actually, I'm on pace to be closer to 200 leads in August. I think I'll fall a little bit short of the 200. And listen, being a part-timer, I mean, that may not sound impressive when guys talk about huge numbers of leads that they can drive in the door, but I'm telling you, for the average person who's part-time and not full-time, that is a ton of leads to follow up on, make connections with. Personally, for me anyways, that's really all I can handle and do justice to. So that's why I think I'm glad that you're here, and I think you're in the right place tonight. Okay, so now here's the 10,000-foot view. It's kind of a busy slide. It's a 10,000-foot view of the strategy, and it all starts with what I call churning followers, and that is very simple. It's just a matter of following new people every day and unfollowing the people that didn't follow me back after about 48 hours. So I let about 2 days go. I give them a shot. Not everybody's on Twitter every single moment of every single day, so I give them about 2 days, and if they don't follow me back, I unfollow them. That gives me room to follow some more people. Okay? Now, these new people come in and they see my tweets, obviously, and a lot of my tweets lead to lead capture pages, but the big thing is that works in this strategy is the new followers see my automatic or automated direct message that goes out to them. And there's something about the language that I use that kind of activates about 40% of them to me. And I ask them a question. It's a simple yes or no question. If they respond with a yes, that's like the equivalent of them raising their hand and saying, Chris, I need help. I can't get leads on Facebook. I can't get leads on the internet. Please help me. Okay? So they've raised their hand. They've asked for help. We know what the problem is. This is one of the #1 problems with people building MLMs, network marketing, direct sales companies, is getting leads. When that happens, I send them a message that's not automated, that I actually manually send to them, although it's kind of a cut and paste message. Everybody gets pretty much the same message. I do tiny bit personalize it, and I say, great, I'm here to help you. Send me your email address, and by the way, here's a link to a free training I think you're going to get value out of. They send me their email address. I collect that. It goes into my CRM. It goes into the autoresponder, and we're off and running. They get my newsletter and everything that follows. This process happens with basically 3 tools: Crowdfire, Hootsuite, and Notepad, because I'm a Windows guy. Okay, that could be pretty much anything. I don't like to constantly be thinking about what is it exactly I want to say. I got a message, I just go into the Notepad, I cut and paste. So let's go see this system in action. Chris, right now this is a good stopping spot for me to just ask, do you see anything? Am I going too fast? Any issues that I need to be aware of?
No, you're doing fine.
All right, good. All right, so actually, I want to leave here and go over to Crowdfire. Okay, so what you're looking at right now is my Crowdfire program. I don't, some of you may be familiar with it already. Some people may not be familiar with it. So I guess I didn't say this before. I am using 2 different Twitter accounts, and I kind of play them back off of each other to help them grow a little bit quicker. That's not particularly important to the strategy. Although if you've already got one account and you want to experiment with starting a second account and growing it, there's absolutely no harm in that. The people that I talk to about Twitter say don't go beyond 2 accounts. Don't try that. So the first step in the process I'm going to show you is the unfollow process. Now, obviously, if you don't have a Twitter account now and you're creating one from scratch, you don't start with the unfollow process. You start with the follow process. Okay, that just makes common sense. But in this case, you can see that there's a nice message waiting for me when I log in that says I'm currently following 1,136 users who are not following me back. That's not of great concern to me because, frankly, almost 600 of those people, I just followed them last night about 24 hours ago. Okay? So that means I have about 500 or so people that now it's been 2 days, and they haven't followed me back yet. So the unfollow process starts, this is exactly where the program opens you up to. Couple things I want to point out to you when you get into this area. Okay, you want to make sure that this little drop down is set to oldest to display first. That means that this first person, which, by the way, let me back up for just a second, guys. Because we're live and I'm showing you literally exactly what I'm doing, we're all adults in here. You're going to see people's Twitter names and that we're going to be talking about. When I jump over to Hootsuite, you're going to see people who actually said yes or who sent me their email. Just be cool with that. I know everybody's going to be, but I kind of feel like I owe it to these people whose account is showing. I owe it to Yvette here to say that. So anyways, back to what I was saying here. In this drop down, you want it to display oldest first. That says to me that Yvette is not somebody I followed yesterday. She's somebody I followed 2 days ago. She didn't follow me back. Okay? So in this account, what I would do, and I won't do it all right now, but I'll do a little bit of it, what I'm going to do before I go to sleep tonight is I'm going to unfollow 500 people in here. And let me show you what that looks like. I come over here to this red button on the right-hand side, and I click it. And boom, it automatically advances it. I click it, and I just keep going as fast as my finger can hit the mouse. This is a volume process. And I just will rattle down through there and delete 500. Some people have said they don't feel comfortable with doing all 500, so they'd rather do, 250 of them earlier in the day and another 250 later in the day. I've been doing it for 4 weeks and I haven't run into any issues, but I'm going to just disclaim that that's my results. That's what's happened with me. Twitter hasn't had an issue with it, so take that for what you will. Okay, so what happens here is when you do not have, when your number of followers is below 2,000, you are only allowed to follow 2,000 people. So when you hit that 2,000 ceiling, you would theoretically not be able to follow anymore. And this process is completely driven by the fact that every day you want new people to follow you so that they see this direct message that you send out. So I've got to get rid of the old and put in the new every day. That's that churning process. Okay? So I'd go through here and I'd get rid of 500 people tonight. Okay? Just like that. Get my numbers down, because that will allow me to now add, or I should say follow, 500 new people. Okay? It's as simple as that. It's a volume process. You just bang them out, boom, 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 as fast as your finger can go over the button. And this is also an app, by the way, Crowdfire is. I don't happen to use it on there. I prefer to use it sitting at here. But if you are more mobile based, you just download the app, you set it all up, it works exactly the same way, and your little finger's just tapping the screen just as fast as you can to delete these. Works exactly the same way. Okay, so that's that part of the process. Okay, we get rid of the old that didn't follow us, and now we're going to put some new in, and that's the follow process. Okay, down here, down the left-hand side, I use this feature right here, copy followers. Right. So click on that. Now this screen right here says search by name. What they want you to put in there is they want you to put another Twitter user's name in there. And it's going to bring up everybody who follows them, and it's going to make it really simple for you to follow them yourself. So you think about that and you say, well, I'm trying to grow my network marketing or my MLM business. So who do I want to follow me? Who do I want to see this message and ultimately give me their email address? I want people that are in network marketing companies. It makes sense. I don't have to sell them on the industry. They're already in there. Those are the people I want to get access to, people who are already in my industry. So I'm going to follow network marketing companies or network marketing leaders, because who has thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of followers? The network marketing companies and the top leaders in network marketing companies. Okay? Now, for the sake of this, so this piece is kind of a little bit like, I kind of make the analogy, it's sort of like the SEO of this process. The wiser and smarter you can be about this, about the copy followers, the better the results you're going to get. Okay? So one cool thing is once you've discovered some people to follow and you type them in there and you copy them, it remembers who you previously copied. And so then you don't have to think about, who was that 2 days ago? I seem to get pretty good results. You click that and it shows you. Okay? So for the sake of my demonstration here, I'm going to go with the big granddaddy of them all, Amway, right? One of the oldest companies out there. And so I click that and it automatically pre-fills Amway US in there. And lo and behold, it starts to fill this screen with people who are following. These are the followers of Amway US account. There's, I don't know, I don't remember the number. I think there might have been 60,000 followers. That's a lot of followers to sift through. It's awesome. Okay? And it just, they continue to fill the screen as I scroll down through. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. Okay? So let's say I've completed my unfollow process. I've unfollowed 500 people. Now I need to follow 500 people. I usually don't follow 500 all from one company or one leader. I usually will do 2 or 3 over that large a number. Okay? But watch how simple and quick this is. I go over to the green plus button and I click it. And it reloads, and I click it again, and I click it again, and then I go as fast as my little finger will go. Now, till I have 500. Now that's that. By the way, let me clarify that number, because I don't want somebody getting in Twitter jail and coming back to me and saying, I did what you said and I followed 500 people. Twitter will allow you to follow 1,000 people a day, but they do not tell you exactly how many at one time you can follow. I know a couple of leaders who say to follow 200 people at a time. I didn't discover that 200 number until after my account was over 2,000 of my own followers, and I had already been following 300, 400, and 500 people. Okay? So I'm going to tell you that there's some other leaders out there who are very successful with Twitter who say 200 at a time. So I want to declare that number. But I'm telling you right now, last night on my 2 accounts, I followed 500 people on each account. I had no problems. When I hit my limit, because you know, you can only follow a maximum of 2,000 people in Twitter until your account gets above 2,000, then you can follow 10% more. Well, one of my accounts just clicked over 4,000 today. That means I can follow 4,400 people. Okay? And when I hit the cap, or you hit your cap, if it's 2,000, whatever the situation, when you hit that cap, you will get a message right here in Crowdfire. It turns the very next person you click on. Once you've hit that limit, the very next person you click on to follow, a red message pops up and it says you can't follow any more people, and you're done. And then your work is done for the day. I'm taking a long time to explain this. This whole process takes less than a half hour for 2 accounts. Okay? So anyways, boom, 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 boom. Just following people. Do I care where they live? No. I did at the beginning, and I'm like, well, I really want U.S. and Canada people only. And you know what? I decided this is a volume speed method. Right? If it's a fishing analogy, I've got the drag nets out, and I'm dragging, and I don't care if I get the wrong stuff in there. I'll just kick them out in the unfollow process in 48 hours. Okay? So you can sit there and you can pick through and go, oh, Los Angeles, California, yep, I'll follow this person. Boy, I can't even speak that language. I'm not going to follow that. You can come through here and do that. I spent some time doing it. It didn't change the results, and it just took me a whole lot more time. So, but anyways, that's the follow process. That's it. Unfollow a bunch, follow a bunch, and then let me show you what they get, because I did tell you I was going to show you exactly what I'm doing. So let me show you what they get. Down here. On this automated tab, this is where you go in, you set up your automatic direct message. The one I've got in here now says, now remember, this goes out to somebody who just follows me, brand new. One of those people I just clicked on from Amway, they follow me because I followed them, so they follow me back. Boom, instantly or automatically, they get this message. Thanks for follow. I know it's not proper grammar, but we're dealing with 140 characters, because even though Twitter, if you're kind of up to speed on things, Twitter just said your direct messages can be more than 140 characters, but automatic direct messages can only be 140 characters. Crowdfire still got it programmed in. So thanks for the follow. Are you getting 15 plus leads per day for your biz here on Twitter? Free video shows you 6 simple steps and a link. I'm asking them a yes or no question, and I'm giving them a link. The really activated, really motivated people are going to reply back to that, and I'm going to be looking for their yes response. Other people who are more passive will click that link, and I'll show you in a minute where that link goes. So even if they don't say yes to go to the next step in the process, they're still going to a page where I'm probably going to end up with their email address. Okay? But that's the automatic message that goes out. Okay? Now, so that happens, and now here's where the fun is. In Hootsuite, second tool that I use, okay, I use Hootsuite for two reasons only. I use Hootsuite to automate the tweets that I send out based on the number of followers I have. Each of my accounts sends a tweet out every hour and 20 minutes. So I send 18 tweets per account per day. It says right in their rules that you can't send them more than 25. That gets really, like, unless you have over 10,000 followers, you don't want to mess with that. I started with a tweet every 2 hours in my accounts, so I was sending 12 tweets per account, with 2 accounts, 24 obviously. And basically what I'm doing is I'm giving away stuff in my tweets, okay? And then I've also got it set up so that one of my Facebook fan pages, anything I post there will become a tweet also. I don't do enough posting over there to make that number become a problem. Okay, so I use Hootsuite for that reason. Now I will tell you that you see that I still have. I loaded about 6 days worth of tweets in a few days ago, and I'm going to run out at 8:50 in the morning tomorrow morning. These will all be sent. I will tell you that this is a paid version of Hootsuite, and I pay $10. It averages out to $10 a month, $9.97 or something. And the ability to preload, I think up to 350. I don't have that many. The ability to preload them like that is only in the paid version. The free version does allow you to schedule them, but you just have to schedule each one individually. I've actually got like an Excel sheet with all of them listed, and I can just mass upload that to Hootsuite, and boom, they all fall in there. Like I said, I've got 5 or 6 days worth of tweets, so 90. I think I got a little over 90 tweets per account that I send out. Okay, so that's one thing I do. But now here's the gold, right? We're talking about leads. Where are those? Okay, here's where that comes in. Right here in this area where it says message inbox. Okay, I sent them a message, and these people either had automatic direct messaging themselves, like this first one, now begin. I'm pretty sure that's probably an automatic direct message, right? I don't care about that. I'm scrolling through. What am I looking for? I'm looking for 2 things. I'm looking for the people who said yes. They're raising their hand saying, yes, I like social media training. Yes, I'm not getting 15 plus leads on Twitter. Please help me, right? So I'm looking for those. And then other people who are a little bit further in the process, I'm looking for email addresses, and I'm harvesting, okay? So here's how now this is where Notepad comes in, right? Because this person, everybody who said yes, is going to get the exact same message from me at this point, but I have to trigger it. It's not automated, okay? So this is my little Notepad file. You see my automatic direct message here. Twitter direct message for the yes responses. I grab this, I copy, get rid of it, and I come down and I find my yeses, and I click on the little envelope, and I paste that in, and I'm going to say, because remember, this guy got a message, said, do you like, or are you getting 15 or more leads on Twitter? Do you want some help? And he said, yes, I want some help. Awesome, shoot me over your email, and I will send it right out. Also, here are some free trainings and a link. Okay? So I'm saying to him, yeah, give me your email and I'll give you what you're asking for, but then I'm also giving him what he's asking for anyways. They don't realize it, and it doesn't matter. You're going to see that in just a second. Boom, so I fire that off. Okay? Then just to make sure I don't accidentally send, send it twice. I mean, I can see who I sent to over here in the right-hand panel, and I do use this for that purpose to remind me, oh yeah, because something will come up and I'll get sidetracked. Okay, I don't see any more yeses in this stream on this account. This is my primary C. Kelly account, and I also have this secondary one, so let's go over here for a second. As I scroll down through, here's somebody saying yes, right? Yes, they need some help. So click direct message, paste, send. Scroll down through. Oops, I think I got another one. Yep, here's another one. Okay, that's it. Okay, so I'll do that. I'll do all the yeses at the same time because I copied and pasted that message, right? Okay, then second pass through, I go back through and I grab these email addresses and I add them to my newsletter. I add them to my CRM, Customer Relationship Manager program, so that I can follow up with them. And actually, these people, because right now, for the most part, these people are cold leads. They don't really know me. They haven't been on my Facebook page. They haven't seen pictures of me. They haven't seen my videos. These are pretty cold market. I have 2 lists in my autoresponder. These guys go into a cold market list for right now, and they get a whole series of automated messages that kind of lead them through a series of steps that I want them to go down and deliver a lot of value too, because I just give them tons and tons of training. Eventually they have the opportunity, if they take advantage of it, to move over, and then they join my warm market newsletter, and I only handwrite those messages. And those are people that, you know, obviously have started to get to know and like and trust me a little bit more. Okay, so I'm not going to do anything with these guys right now, but that's what I'll do. I'll come in here and I'll cut and paste. And let me show you a couple things here. Again, remember, we're going to be cool about this, right? Because you're going to see Bree right here. So I have her email address right here, but I want to make sure I have her name. Oh, nice face, Bree. So oftentimes, I chose a great one. She doesn't have. Oftentimes, their whole name will be here. So I can get a first and a last name out of this area. In this case, all I have is Bree. Okay, so when I put her in, I'm going to put, actually, it looks like in her email, it looks like it might be Bree Ratcliffe. I try to do some sense making when I put that in there. But anyways, I wanted to point out that if you click on their name there, you get more information. Geez, none of these are showing. Oftentimes there's a website, okay? Now, in this case, this guy didn't actually give me his email address, but if someone did give me their email address, this is what I was talking about, I can get their name here, and if they have a website and they've given me their email already, I will click on that link. Oftentimes it takes me to their company page, like let's say they work with Amway USA, it'll take me to their generic page that all the Amway representatives get, but oftentimes there's more information on there, like phone numbers, other pieces of information that I want to try to harvest to put in my CRM. Okay, so that's all the information that I get off of there. And remember, 24 hours a day, Hootsuite is sending tweets for me. This is a completely automated process. You're going to hear a lot of people say that they deliver tons and tons of value and great posts and great content. I don't look at it as this way. I give away tons and tons of free training here. All of that leads to capture pages. This is just harvesting. This is the top of a funnel, and I'm trying to get as many people to come in through the top of the funnel as possible. That's the way I treat this. Okay, so I told you I would show you where some of these links lead to. Honestly, I'm going to tell you that as much as there's some magic in some of the things that are going on there, the human dynamic of people responding, raising their hand for help and whatnot, it wasn't right away that I realized, and I guess I'm saying that I accidentally almost put in place something that is super, super powerful. Because I've sent a new person, a new follower from Amway US, just since we've been on here. They have gotten an automatic message from me that gave them a link to a free training. Now I can tell you, I'll show you in a second exactly what that free training was. Then the ones that said yes, they wanted more information, they needed help, I sent them a second link. And that second link comes to my blog, my website. Now, it doesn't come to this main page, but you will notice one feature of my main page is right at the top, I've got an opt-in box. Generate 10 plus leads per day for free, enter your email to find out how. That collects email addresses for me automatically. But here is where, and by the way, this is not great, right? I'm not showing off my blog. I'm not a huge blogger, but it's a kind of a piece for me. It really is kind of a, it has become a piece of the process. It takes them to this page, free lead trainings. Now, the first thing you notice when you hit the free leads training page is I have this thing called a mat. They are annoying as hell. I mean, they're annoying as heck. Sorry. But they're effective. I get people who have come to this page and they think they can't go any further to get to the free trainings because they're looking up at the URL and they're saying, well, this is free training, so behind this is free trainings. Now, it's easy to get around it. If you click this little button here or you just scroll down, you get right past this. Or you click no thanks. I mean, there's 3 ways to get beyond this. But some people will put in their email address there. So even if they didn't send me their email address, remember what I said then. I sent them a link to this page. And they may not have sent their email address. But I'm going to get it one way or the other. So even if right here they say no thanks, now they get to the actual page itself, and there's 14 free trainings available on this page. And as a matter of fact, that first link, I told you I would show you what they were going to get. Let's see. Here it is, right here. Without having to come to this page, the first link I send to people would take them to this capture page right here, right? That first message that says, are you getting 15 plus leads, here's a link, that would take them here. And in order to get this free training, 6 silly simple steps to take on Twitter for 15 plus leads per day, in order to get it, they've got to give me at least their name and their email. Okay? There's a debate about whether or not you should put phone in there. That's where I make my connections. So I'd rather have a few people say, no, I'm not going to fill out this form because he wants my phone number, because the people who do put in a phone number are a whole lot more serious, and they're really, really, really saying that they need help. Okay? But I'm not going to go into that more right now. Okay? But the link to this page, every single one of these free trainings. Now, somebody who wants to build their business and drive traffic and learn internet skills, they look down through here and there's everything imaginable available to them. Facebook Pixels, Instagram training, you name it, it's here. Right? Oh, Instagram, I want to learn Instagram. So they've come over to this page, they click on this. Oh, there's great, now this happens to be a customized Instagram page that I created. Again, they've got to give me their name and their email. It's like once they get in, it's really tough to get out without giving up your name and your email address. Really, 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 really powerful stuff here. All based around, whoops, I just got rid of that. All based around my website and my blog. Okay? Once I have them, once I have, I don't mean them, once I have email addresses, like I said, they go in the CRM, they go in the autoresponder. I'm going to stop the screen share at this point. Come back on. Okay, I see some comments in the Q&A. Oh, hey, look! I don't know if anybody noticed, but we had a guest pop in. Mark Lalonde, are you there?
Yep, I am, my friend. What's up?
Wow, Mark. Wow, what an honor to have you on here.
Come on, that was amazing, buddy. I was here the whole time.
Were you?
I was even nice picture with the skateboard. Let me come out here.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know we had football, skateboarding, and Windows in common, my friend.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm also a Windows
Well, that
user.
wasn't me. That wasn't me on the skateboard. I'd be getting killed. That was my son. That was my older son.
Oh, that's when I popped right in. How's
I
it going?
think you and I have golf in common.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Guys, for those of you on here who don't know Mark Lalonde, I'm going to let him introduce himself here in just a second. But Mark is the first person who showed me the potential that Twitter had for driving traffic. And there's a good chunk of what I just showed you that I learned from Mark, and then I took it and I customized it and I tweaked it. He does it at a whole different level, a level that frankly I'm not even interested in doing because I'm part-time. I couldn't possibly do it at the level that he does it. So I did something that makes sense for me, and it's working. But Mark, can you just take a couple of minutes and kind of tell everybody about yourself and what Twitter has done for your business?
Mm-hmm. Before, though, my friend, I have to tell you, look, I took notes.
Woohoo!
I learned from you tonight. I did. There was probably 7 things right here that I will implement that I haven't been doing. And you said you would add your touch to it. Well, you definitely did, man. Like you had some amazing info there. Well, the people who don't know me, I'll go through it super quick. I was a computer programmer for 20 years. I worked in a cubicle. And by the way, I had no idea you were a math teacher, Chris.
Oh, there you go.
I didn't know that. So I wanted out. I wanted to fire my boss. I don't know if you guys feel that the same way. But it was nothing against my boss. It was just the fact that I wanted freedom. So I went online, did a couple of entrepreneurial things. And network marketing happened to be the one that freed me from the 9-to-5er. It allowed me to make 5 figures a month residually and say bye to my boss. And since that day, I've been 2.5 years ago, that's it, almost 3 years now, I've been quite successful in network marketing. And this is when, I'm not sure if you talked about the lead system that we're using, Chris, yet, have you?
No, I kind of touched on it a little bit,
Okay.
but no, not really.
Because I don't know if you're going to talk about it at the end, but guys, without all the training that Chris showed you guys, because I've used leverage of other trainings to blow my network marketing business out of the water. Like, for those of you who don't know, I'll just give you some. I get about 100 leads per day on Twitter now. I get probably an extra 100 off other sources. So Twitter's my big gun. And what I do on Twitter is actually very, very, very close to the T. I like when you say you churn, because it's all about that churn. Out with the old, in with the new. I mean, it doesn't matter how many followers I have, because I have quite a few, but if I'm not churning on a daily basis, you think those tens of thousands of followers are not going to be bored with my same tweets? Of course they will. So it becomes stagnant. So what I churn the exact same way Chris does, as a matter of fact. I don't use Crowdfire, but I will definitely check it out because I love the fact that you don't have to navigate. You just click at the same spot. That's a time saver right there. But in essence, I do the exact same thing Chris does, I guess the difference would be the number of years I've been on Twitter and the number of accounts I have. I wouldn't recommend getting as many accounts as I do. So I'm a bit of a risk taker. But in essence, everything that Chris taught today, I mean, it's pretty well identical to what I do. Did you want me to talk about maybe a couple of differences I do, Chris? Or what do you want? What do you want from me, buddy?
Well, you know, since I have you here, you know,
Yeah,
and I can just ask questions of you. As I was kind of going through the presentation, which, you know what, I just realized I forgot to say at the beginning, and it would be too late now if anybody has taken off already. I have a. I'm supposed to say this at the beginning. You can tell a rookie, you know. I have a 17-page. You know, I'm a teacher. I have a 17-page note sheet already done for you. That everybody who sticks around to the end, I'm going to push the link out to you in the chat, and you can follow that link and you can grab that. It's a PDF file. So if you weren't taking notes or I went too fast through something, it goes through everything that I was just going through. I forgot to say that. I should say that at the beginning. It's a hook to keep people on, right? But, Mark, it occurred to me as I was kind of going through it a little bit earlier just to make sure this is going to go as smoothly as possible, that I kind of treaded very lightly over a couple really important things. Like, I'm pushing all these people. Like, some of them are just like, I don't know. I know your percentages are different, and I want you to mention maybe the percentages of people who give you their email. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing 30-ish% of the people who say yes, and I send them back the next message and say, well, send me your email. I'm seeing about 30% of the people, 30, 40%, and I don't really care because I just care about the number, right? I'm doing volume. But the importance of actually having a mechanism to capture them and to have stuff to give them. It occurred to me I was really soft-pedaling the importance of that. So can you kind of...
Yeah, well, I love your approach with direct messages. Here's where we may differ a little bit. Am I echoing? I'm echoing, right?
I'm not hearing an echo here.
Okay. You got me? You hear me?
Yeah.
I just want to say I'm sticking around till the end because I want that sheet. And no one left, my friend. I've been looking. Your numbers have been solid.
I couldn't see that because I think that would have made me paranoid if I was watching that number. I'm glad I couldn't see it.
I know the screen sharing hides it, right? Yeah. Okay. So here's what I do with my Twitter strategy. Is always the reason I don't use direct messaging, which I probably should, is because now I've scaled my Twitter to a level that's unmanageable by myself. I had to hire people to do certain instructions. I may play with that, but I get everyone to a capture page as soon as I can, because Chris and I use a system where you can design your own capture pages and literally massage them. Now I'm down to a point where I have a different capture page per type of tweet that I have. So they're all tailored around Twitter marketing, that kind of stuff, but now there's different capture pages for different types of tweets, and in the capture page I'm very, very, very specific. It's me talking. It's a video of myself. So I find the percentages, because I do that, because everyone that clicks any of my tweets, they're going to end up on my face talking to them and basically bringing out their pain right away. I'll make them feel bad about the fact that they're failing in whatever they're doing. And if they want some help and kind of heal that pain, put your phone number in. I'm very, very adamant about the phone number. Those of you who know me know that that's my money skill, is getting on the phone. So the difference would be that I just skip the step from the yes, the no, and the email. But I have to tell you, I'm blown away when I saw Chris show that. I can't believe people were putting in their emails. And I gotta ask you, Chris, have you tried asking for their phone number through Twitter?
I haven't, but the thought did cross my mind.
Yeah, because those emails I just saw with those 2 yeses, my jaw dropped. I'm like, oh my God, that's like you just got yourself some leads, literally. And if it was, because I know you copy paste your DMs, right? Yeah, is that no? They would say yes to your automated direct message,
Yeah,
right?
that's my automated direct message.
Okay, so I'm wondering if the automated direct message said, please leave your name, your email, and your phone number. I will call you. I wonder what that would do. Anyways, it's just because that's the approach I use on my capture pages, and I get about I get a good 40 to 50% phone numbers on my capture pages, up to 60%. And then when I just reply to them and ask for their number again, I get that sucker up to 70%. So I'm just going to touch on something that Chris said, because Chris was saying he was shooting for 200 leads this month. Guys, I just want you to know how much that is, how valuable that is. It's a lot of leads because, well, it's about 7, well, let me see here, 200 divided by 30, 7 per day. You're the math teacher. About 7 per day, right?
Yep.
And I mean, that's, if you're hitting 70% numbers, 60% numbers, if you ask for it after, that's, if you did get 4 or 5 phone numbers per day, guys, when I was doing cold marketing stuff, I'm assuming all of you guys have a network marketing business and you're trying to generate leads for that. When I used to hustle and bustle out in the streets, it sounds pretty brutal to say that, but I was a cold market guy. I used to go out and find people. If I was able to talk to 4 people per day, it would be a fantastic day. So when you're talking 200 leads for a month, that's a life-changing business right there. And I mean, Chris is doing everything properly. The only difference I think between Chris and I numbers is because I think I've done it longer than you, this process, longer than you have. That's probably the only difference, really. And I mean, because I mean, it's pretty well identical to what I do. I have a couple of little secrets that I use, and they're just like reaching out to other leaders. Really, I'll tell you right now, that's what I do. As soon as I had 10,000 followers, I reached out to other leaders with 10,000 followers. I said, listen, you want to make a deal? I'm going to tweet you out for 10 tweets. You tweet me out for 10 tweets. We make that exchange, and that's going to get you probably, you know, almost 1,000, 800, 1,000 new followers like that. And then when I graduated to 50,000 leads, because I'm a big relationship guy, so I will actually reach out to other leaders with 50,000 followers. And when you trade that, he's getting a bit of my traffic. And that's only something because people are going to look at my accounts and say, well, how did you get those numbers? And a lot of it is because of that. However, in the beginning, before 10,000, you have no choice. You have to do it this way. And this is the best way to do it. Chris explained it perfectly, in my opinion. Yeah, I think the echo went away.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I think I just identified. Geez, I hope it hasn't been super bad the whole time. But I just identified where the echo is. It's coming because I'm using an external mic up here. It's my newest toy. When you're talking, your voice is coming back up through and creating a feedback. So
Okay.
when you and I go back and forth, it's going to be that way. But I can mute when I stop talking. But
Did you get the Yeti?
yeah, what do I have here? No, I have the Audio Technica 2500 or something, but I got a arm mount and the.
Awesome. You're a big radio celebrity now.
Yeah.
I love it.
I got all this stuff.
Awesome.
I'll tell you what, it makes a big difference. When I first got that, I just recorded myself a little bit with saying a few things with it and then without it, and sound is huge. And when you're making videos and doing stuff like this, it really makes a difference. But anyways, I'm getting off track. So, Mark, here's the thing. I think, and you agree or disagree with this. I mean, I think I know that you're going to agree, but maybe you won't. I just think that in order for couple things have to happen. You have to have a way to be able to capture email addresses and names, and hopefully phone numbers if you want to do phone calling. I mean, I'll tell you right now, I messed around with this and I avoided the phone. I mean, this little phone here weighs, you know, it still weighs 5,000 pounds. It used to weigh 10,000 pounds, but I make the calls. I avoided it. You can build your MLM network marketing business without it, but it's going to take longer. And do you have the resources and do you have the staying power to stick around? When these people, if these people will give you their phone number, they're really saying, please call me. They wouldn't give you their phone number if they didn't. But anyways, my point is, you got to have a way to capture that, and you got to have some good stuff to give away. And anybody can do that on their own. They can create those things if they're really talented or whatever. But we have, you know, Mark and I and Chris, we all have the same suite of tools available to us and resources available to us. And that's what allows us to do it so quickly. I mean, on that one page on my website, you saw I'm giving away, I have 14 different free offers. I created one of the capture pages, but I didn't create any of the free stuff I'm giving away to train people. All those free trainings, those were already created. Most of those websites were done for me. And we use a suite of tools in an education platform called My Lead System Pro. Now, here's the thing I was waffling back and forth on whether or not that I was going to bring up, but I guess I'm going to. For tonight only, before midnight, if any of you on here are not currently members of My Lead System Pro, for the first 5 people that take the 10-day trial of My Lead System Pro for $10, for the first 5 people, I will personally work with you to look at your Twitter setup and the top where you talk about yourself and your header graphic. I will help you build your first set of tweets to go out. I'll make sure that you have all the components that I have that you want, that you customize. I will, if it's an hour, it's an hour. If it's 2 hours, it's 2 hours. 5 people, I mean, I can't, I'm going back to school in 2 weeks. I can't do it for everybody, but for the first 5 people who don't have those suite of tools. And the cool thing, I know I sound like I'm selling, and I don't mean to be selling. It's just I'm so passionate about the fact that I wouldn't be here. That line at the beginning of my graph of leads was all flat. It would have been 0 had I not discovered My Lead System Pro. And so within a 10-day trial, I know I can get people to start getting leads using this system. Wouldn't you say, Mark? Can't anybody start with a brand new Twitter account and drive leads within just a few days?
Well, yeah, but I'm going to be straight up here because you know me, and it's not my webinar, so I can just say it the way it is, right? Here's the deal, guys. Before this system, My Lead System Pro, I was oblivious to what online marketing was. I had no idea. Now, the education, the things you're going to learn in this system are the only reason I'm getting 100 to 200 leads a day. And now we're talking education, but we're talking the tools. All this training, are you kidding me? I'm giving away 2-hour training for free that's not even mine, and I'm getting the lead. I get to call these people. I get to benefit from the leads from my business, and I'm using someone else's stuff. So all I'm saying is that I was getting 0 leads. I was literally going to the mall and tapping people on the shoulder, and now I get over 100 per day because of this, because I get to leverage that training. That's really, that's the bottom line with this system for me. I would not be where I am today. And I was going to touch on something else, but like I said, just as far as My Lead System Pro goes, it's a leader incubator. It turned me into a leader. I was no one before this. And now people contact me all the time to join my business. So, yeah, I mean, I would not be where I am today. There's no doubt about it. I wouldn't know anything. I wouldn't know what I don't know.
Do you have any idea, Mark, how many hours of training alone are in the back office there?
Thousands, for sure.
So, honestly, I was on a webinar once and I saw somebody challenge some people to pay the $10 and go in and literally watch 24 hours a day all the trainings back there.
Yeah.
And on the 9th day, say it wasn't worth it and get their $10 back and have had hundreds of hours of free training. Because if you get 9 days into it and you're like, this doesn't work for me, or this, it doesn't fit, I don't like it, I'm not getting value out of it. If your 10-day trial isn't up, they'll even give you your $10 back. So I mean, it's really a no-lose deal.
Yeah, that's all I do is I pop people into the 10-day trial every day, usually multiple. And I don't even bother with the non-trial because everything is there with the 10-day trial if they're guided, literally. If they don't see the value in what there is, well, they're probably just not plugging in, or they're just not getting it, or they're probably just going to fail anyways in general. Like, they should just stick to their job, because My Lead System Pro is okay, I hate to be very real here, but there's only 3 ways for you to grow your business. And these are the only 3 ways. Number 1, you hit your warm market, which means you go up to people you know. Most of you have probably already done that. Number 2, you hit the cold market. You do cold calls, or you go out in the shopping malls, like I said, or the gym, or your work, or whatever. And number 3, you have to generate leads online. So if you're not doing one of those, you got to do one of those 3 things, or not build your network marketing business. I decided to give leads a try, and I will never, ever have to go up to someone in the mall again, or in a bar, or a random stranger, and feel like I'm harassing them. So without this system, if you guys know my story, like I said, I knew nothing, and now I wake up in the morning and I cannot call all my leads back. I just can't. There's too many. It's true. And as you move along forward, guys, when you hit at certain levels, I woke up this morning and there was so many people who signed up automatically. That comes with time, though. That comes with time.
That is a good problem to have. I can't wait till I get to that spot.
Well, you will.
Yeah. Well, guys, we're almost 10 minutes past the hour. This was going to go an hour. What can I say? I get passionate about this stuff when it works, because I want to see other people be successful. I don't know how long the lag is. I just put in chat a link to my personal Facebook page. Before we started, I gave like a 15 or 20-minute warning notice. Listen, if you got any value at all, any nugget, even one nugget, like when I go to a training, I'm looking for 1 or 2 nuggets, and I say it was worth my time. If you got any value out of this, my request to you would be jump over there, just put a message in there. It'll be supportive for me when I'm, when I'm reanalyzing the thing. And I also told you that I was going to give you a link to a handout. So that's coming. Mark, you probably do this too, but I thought ahead of a couple of things that I was going to need, a couple links. So I created a separate notepad file with those links so I could do cut and paste on these things.
Nice job.
So I also just pasted into the chat the link for the Twitter handout. Basically, it's coachingbychris.com/Twitter-handout. The link is in the chat. 17 pages, all that we just went over. I did screen captures and pointed arrows with notes, and I don't know. I think I like it, but I'm the one that did it. All I know is if my principal saw the quality of this lesson, he would be wanting me to do a little bit better job in my math classroom. Let me check the Q&A, see if anything else has come in the Q&A. I don't see anything in there. Chris, are you in there? You've been so quiet.
Yes, I'm here.
All right.
Yeah, I've been learning on this thing too, and I didn't realize that Crowdfire was online too. So I'm gonna start implementing that myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
What, Chris? Can you repeat that again? Because I don't know that I heard it clearly. You didn't know what about Crowdfire?
Yeah, I mean, I've been using the app on my phone, but I didn't realize it was on the internet too.
Oh, okay.
And I really like the idea that it tracks the companies or the leaders that you've already been to, because I don't remember. So
Yeah.
that was also helpful.
You know, I didn't go into this because some of my earlier postings and my emails to my list, I talked about the fact that these were free tools, and they are free. Both Hootsuite and Crowdfire have free versions, but I'm actually using each tool is $10 a month, so I'm putting $20 a month into those two tools, and let's say right now, 2 months into, not even 2 months, not even 2 months into this strategy, I'm getting roughly, this month it's going to be around 200 leads just from Twitter. So if you do the math on there, that's 10 cents per lead, except that's not just any lead, that's like an activated lead. And you know what? There's a message in there I forgot to mention. I am also telling them in one of my messages to go and connect with me on Facebook, and a ton of people are connecting with me on Facebook. So I'm moving them up the warm market ladder too. But anyways, 10 cents a lead for somebody who has voluntarily said, yes, please help me. I need your help. I need what you have to offer. I mean, that's a no-brainer. And as that number goes up and up and up, then the cost per lead is going to go down and down and down. It's the best $20 investment that I think I have, besides my Lead System Pro, which without that I'd have nothing to give them. So then I'd be out of the water without anything to give them, because then I'd be spending days or weeks or months trying to create my own stuff. So it's so what was I missed my point. My point was that in the Pluto version of Crowdfire, it not only remembers who you've been following, so you can go back in and get some more of them, it also remembers the exact people you followed, so you don't follow the same person twice from that company. Now, you can follow the same person twice by accident if, like, let's say I'm following followers of Mark, because I've done that before. Let's say I'm going after those people, and some of those people are also followers of Amway USA. Well, I'm going to harvest them twice, because it remembers the person you were trying to copy follower and the person you actually followed. So while I'm going through Amway, I won't grab the same person twice. That's kind of cool, because that gets annoying and people will block you. And I don't really care, because there's only, 316 million people using Twitter. I think I can probably find the handful that I need to be successful in my business.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Boomski on that.
All right, guys. Well, one last check of Q&A, and this is going to be, nope, nothing in Q&A. This is going to be a wrap. I guess I'll drop that link one last time in the chat for the handout. And Mark, unless you have anything else, or Chris, you have anything else, I thank you guys for coming over. Mark, what an I don't want to say an honor, but it's great to have you. Great to have you.
It's an honor to be here, buddy. I've been following you for a while. You're awesome.
Yeah, you know what? I just don't want you telling people that I got into MLSP before you anymore, because that really hurts. That really hurts my feelings to see how fast you've moved along. So.
Hey, buddy.
Everybody in their own time, right? Everybody in their own time.
Yeah, for sure. I see. Look at Lisa Torres. I shouldn't drop the name, but I mean, when I see people like that, it's taken me a year to hit my goal rank, and I saw her come in, and then the things we don't know. Some people have been blogging for 10 years, 20 years. So everyone in their own time, for sure. Yeah. For sure.
All right. Great. Well, thanks everybody for coming, and have a great night. Listen, if there's any questions you think about when you get off tonight, put them on my Facebook page, and I'll answer them, or private message me, whatever. I'll be more than happy to help out. So have an
Thanks,
awesome
Chris.
night. Have an awesome night, everybody.